to the first edition of the Touchdown Club for 2018. I want to call on Coach George Patterson for the invocation. George?
Lord God, we're thankful today for your love for us. We thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for your blessings. We just pray for these coaches that will speak today, that you'll bless their lives and use their service to you. We just pray that you'll bless this food and all who prepared it and partake of it. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Stand, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, have a seat. I want to call on our President, Bill Brissy, for some welcoming remarks. I'm sure most of you know that his wife of some 60-something years passed away recently. He's had a real rough time this past year, but he's still very active with the Touchdown Club, and I don't know what we'd do without him. Come on up, Bill.
All right.
Thank you, George. It has been a bittersweet year. It certainly has. I got out of my car just a few minutes ago, but my granddaughter called and said she just finished, got her nursing degree. So we're proud of that, and there's a lot of good things that have happened. Just you got to really stay positive all the way around. I noticed all these coaches in the paper. I read all those articles that they had in the paper, and they were very positive. I'm anxious to see what they say when they get up here today. But it's been a great year. We had a tremendous meeting when we met in February, and unfortunately that was just a few days after Grace's passing, about 8 days after she passed away. But they took over. The board took over. Chris Sullivan, Nancy Smith primarily took over the thing and just ran with it, and it was one of the most successful meetings that we've ever had. And the whole board just pitched in and did what they needed to do. And of course we were very successfully financially. We were able to donate $2,000 in Kirby Smart's name to the Calvary Children's School. So we did a lot of good that came out of that meeting, but I'm so proud of everybody, all the work that they did, and it was a tremendous meeting for that meeting. But you know, we started this club, as all of you know, in 1981, and it's been going on now. I don't know how long I've been standing up here, but it may be time. You look at Jim's, kind of like the Coach Ford said last year, you know, look who's trying to run this thing. You might ought to be looking at some new people around here, because, you know, we said I'll be 87 the 27th. And somebody said that looked like your waistline more than your age, you know. Been trying to keep my waistline under that. But it's a tremendous thing that we have, I think, that we try to do for these high schools. And the main reason I'm involved in it, and been involved all the time, is so we can honor these young men and their coaches each week for the accomplishments that they do every week. I mean, it's amazing. They've been practicing all year. I mean, play football today, back when I was coaching, you could not start football practice till August the 15th. That was the first day we could practice. Now they're playing games August the 15th. And the boys, the young men are so dedicated, and the coaches are so dedicated. In fact, I happened to just be talking to Coach Early yesterday, and he was even cutting the grass out that west side. I don't know. That's what I used to do, Coach. I told you I had to, though. I think you were doing it because you wanted to. But it's just a tremendous thing, and I appreciate so much you folks being here, being a member of our club, and help us support these young men each week. And that's, as I say, that's the main reason we're here. And just keep up the faith, and everything is going to be great for this coming year. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bill. And I want to remind you one thing, that Bill said his birthday is this coming Monday, August the 27th, and he would like to have as many presents as possible. Come on up, Kevin Selman. There you go.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Want to recognize Marshall Pickens and the Anderson Federal Credit Union. Marshall, would you stand up? Our friends from the credit union are going to be the Pick'em sponsor again this year, along with Oxford Farms. They're going to donate the custom-made porcelain turlets again. So everybody will have one of these when they lose to sit on at home, and one of these to sit on when you go to the games. So the rules this year are the same as they've always been. I'll quickly read over this. Everyone can play. Only Touchdown Club members are eligible for prizes and awards. If you leave your name off the sheet, it won't be graded. All entries must be submitted before the meeting is when the meeting is over. Let's see. If you do not fill out a game, it counts as a loss. Winner of the week, we'll have a winner of the week and a loser of the week. Every week we'll have a last man standing contest, which is the first game on the sheet, and we'll do that until someone wins out and someone loses out. The yearly winners, we'll have that at the end of the year. We'll take your best 8 weeks out of 12. If you're here all 12 weeks, we'll drop your 4 worst scores, and that'll determine the standings. And that's about it. Oh, and a tiebreaker. Under always beats over. So if you pick, if the total point score of the tiebreaker game is 50, and you pick 51, and someone else picks 1, they win. 1 wins. So under always beats over. Any questions? All right. Thank you. Leave that up here for you.
Yeah, leave them. No. Let's see. Here we go. Thank you, Kevin. Kevin does a really good job with the pick'em contest every week. You notice he usually wins himself a time or two and has to have somebody fill in for him those weeks. All right, now for that time of the program that we all look so forward to every week. Normally we do the players of the week and all that, but we don't have any players of the week this week. But we have the jokes of the week, and the first meeting we expect them to always be super good, because, I mean, Fraser's had since February to get these jokes up. So, now, for the jokes of the week, none other than Coach Jim Fraser!
Ah, that's music to my ears, George. Hey, Brissy, you don't look 87, but I remember when you did. It is so good to be back amongst real people. You know, we don't worry about politics. We worry about who's going to win tonight, and just a great time of year. And those coaches, man, have you ever seen a more enlightened, dedicated, handsome group of coaches? One of them walked up to one of his players the other day and said, "Son, what is the problem? What is your problem? You're just lazing around and loafing around and got malaise." And the kid says, "Coach," says, "I got typhoid fever." And the coach says, "Oh, that can be bad." He said, "It either kills you or makes you an idiot." He says, "I know, because I've had it one time. I've had scarlet fever." And who could forget Coach? The coach said, "Son, what is your problem? Is it ignorance or apathy?" And the kid says, "I don't know, Coach, and I don't care." And so we got to start the year with one of the top football stories that I've heard. The score, the home team is behind by 3 points. There's no timeouts. The clock is ticking. 12, 11, 10, 9. The quarterback is looking frantically to the sideline for the coach to send him a play. The play is not forthcoming. The clock's 6, 5, so he jumps in the huddle. Remember when teams used to huddle? He jumps in the huddle, calls a play, and he scores a touchdown. And in the euphoria and pandemonium on the sideline after the game. The coach runs up to the player and says, "Son, what a stroke of genius." Says, "What enabled you to call that play?" And the quarterback says, "Well, coach, I looked, Billy Bob is number 9, Joe Billy is number 8. You weren't going to call a play, so I called play 16 and we scored." And the coach said, "Son, but 9 and 8, 16, it's 17. And the quarterback looked real perplexed and said, "Gee, coach, if I was as smart as you, we'd have lost the game." So next week we're going to start giving players of the week, coaches of the week. And boy, these coaches have an incentive now. They're going to get a night out on the town, courtesy to Cobb Oxford, $100 gift certificate. And I foresee this happening. Along about Wednesday, a coach gets amorous and signed it up to his wife, and she says, "You get your mind on football. I want to go out and eat this weekend." Thank you.
Good job, Coach. You can find all those jokes in Coach Frazier's joke book and many more. You still got that joke book out?
They're up to $7 a piece now.
$7 a piece. All right. All right. Now, to introduce all our coaches, we got our president back up here, Bill Brissy. Come on back up, Bill.
You know, sometimes when you get a little bit older, you have to have some prompts, some things to help you a little bit. And I decided about 2 months ago to get something to help me hear a little bit better. Well, I've lost both of them twice. And I lost one of them at an outing over in Greenville. It had a big crowd. And so I put an ad in the paper over there because they're rather expensive. I said, "I've lost a hearing aid at the show at the theater there in Greenville. If anybody finds it, please call 864-226-5144 and talk real loud." I ain't had anybody to call yet, but anyway, those kind of things do happen to us. It's always a pleasure for me to be able to introduce the coaches that have been up here, and I have to tell another little story. I was down at my old school at Brookton Casey a couple of weeks ago and talking to the coach, and he came out and, "Tom, I saw you came in," and he said, "I don't know whether you know it or not, but Anderson's District 5 is setting a pace for the state." He said, "We're getting a new field house down here." And he said, "We're getting turf on some of our fields, and we're getting a new gymnasium, and we got a raise." He said, they getting ready, they even paying us some more money. And so we all attribute that to School District 5 because of what they're doing. And I want to congratulate you. I was out at Westside yesterday, and I saw them putting gravel on the baseball field, and I said, "What in the world is that?" "Well, they're fixing to put turf down, apparently. I don't know. You know, it's just a tremendous change, and I congratulate you for that. But it's always a pleasure for me to introduce the coaches. They are just great men. I've made this statement a lot of times. We have 2 new coaches to join us this year, but the groups that we've had in the past, and I'm sure this group, I don't believe there's a better group in South Carolina than what we have in Anderson County. They are competitors, they're good men, they're leading their boys really well and teaching them really more than just football. And I'm real anxious, like I said a while ago, because I did read each one of those articles that was in the paper about how good y'all are going to be. I'm anxious to see what you're going to say when you get up here today. But our first coach, Coach Blackston. Coach Blackston has been at Belton Honey Path for 19 seasons, and this is his 9th season as a head coach. He's in his 7th year as athletic director and head football coach. He's been coaching for a total of 23 years. His record as head coach is 76 wins, 22 losses, which is tremendous. And he's married to Robin, and they have 2 sons, Will and Alex. And his favorite thing is blessed to be a bear. That's what he says. Thank you so much. Come on up.
I don't think I need that thing. I get amped up sometimes, but you know. First of all, I thank my dad for being here today. Appreciate you all your support through all the years because he's been following a lot of football games for a long time. Another person I want to thank for being here today is Coach Coates. Coach Coates worked for me, retired from BHP, and it's good to see him here. I tell you what, football's rough because Coach Coates is retired from us, and here, you know, he's retired and he looks younger than I do. Okay, so real proud to see Tim here. We've coached together for 18 years at BHP. Outstanding. I can remember bringing Sheldon up here as a player. I coached him at Crescent for 3 years. I had long flowing hair when I had Sheldon, okay? And then I worked with Coach Rafford at Crescent High School as well. And I can remember me and Coach Rafford racing when we was painting lines back in the day. See who could make it across first, who would be the winner, and keeping tally points for who would win when we was painting the field. Okay, so, you know, it's good to welcome you guys to the Touchdown Club, and again, welcome all you coaches. Good to see y'all. Wish you everything the best for y'all this year. Now to a little bit about BHP football. We're excited for BHP football. One thing about football I want everybody to understand, football's a hard game. It's a real hard game. As coaches, we look to try to make football fun, but sweating, whipping somebody's butt, and getting after it, that's hard. And our society is not hard right now. Our society is staying inside the whole time. And, you know, football's a tough game for tough people. And, you know, I think the colleges are saying it best. If you've been watching Coach Saban's show, you know, football's hard. And, you know, football's at a challenge right now with concussions, wet ball measuring. You can't practice if it's this degree. And then if you do, you're under lawsuit and all that kind of stuff. So our game's being attacked a little bit. And I just wanted to say that for some reason, but it is a tough game. Here at BHP, we got 47 on our varsity roster, 58 on our JVs, 19 seniors, 24 juniors, and 4 sophomores. We returned 7 starters on offense. In late June, our starting tailback from last year had a bad car wreck. Rolled his car 3 times, intensive care, got out of the hospital. He's going to be A-OK. He'll be back about game 5, 6, maybe somewhere in there. Still hadn't been cleared to work out or train. We're tickled to death the young man's alive because his car was folded up into a triangle, had his seatbelt on, and his worst injuries is ripped all his fingernails off of his finger and the severe concussion that he had. So he didn't have any broken bones, things like that. Goes back to the doctor next week. You know, the reason why I'm telling that story is what makes football hard is they sent me a video of this good-looking woman who was his doctor, and she said, in 14 days, this boy's going to be cleared. So as our coaching staff, what we did, hey, we're not going to change the whole lineup around, change the whole team for 14 days. Well, now it looks like what we've had to do is bring a defensive player and make it tailback. They had to reshuffle the lineup because there's a chance we don't even get him back this year. Had another player the Friday before we started practice in a bad car wreck, and he is still in intensive care. He's waiting for Duke to get organ transplants. He is blessed to be alive, and Hunter Wilbanks is his name, and, you know, the seatbelt almost cut him half in two. And so, you know, we lost 2 players before the season even started, and 2 kids we were counting on. But again, I think football and life are so comparable because it's all ups and downs and good times and bad times. And, you know, we've had to deal with some adversity. And, you know, we tell our kids, if we wake up and put these 10 toes on the ground, it's blessed and we have opportunities. When I go see Hunter, he said, Coach, I'm alive. You know, he's talking to me now. He can get up and walk. But, you know, this guy's going to have major life changing things waiting on those organ transplants, and we don't even know when they're going to come from. They had to completely remove his small intestine. And so, you know, so remember him in your quiet time. Tonight we play Powdersville. Powdersville's a good football team. Coach Mustar, their team's well organized, well coached. You know, and that game's at home tonight, so if you guys can make it out. Again, wish all you guys luck this year. And there you go, Mendel.
Thank you, Coach.
Well, that's tough, starting out. We've had that same experience. Starting out losing 2 within the first 2 weeks. That's been a long time ago, but that's tough. Next on my list is Crescent high school coach, Coach Sheldon Evans, and he's new. And he's joining us, and he started coaching at Seneca High School. He was a defensive coordinator at Walhalla High School, defensive coordinator at Hannah High School. He graduated from Crescent and played at Charleston Southern. He's married to Candace, and they have 2 sons, Mason and Maddox.
Now, I kind of learned a lot from these guys, and one of them is Coach Blackston and his intensity, so I appreciate that. But now that hair joke's a lie, because that night he headbutted those lockers and had blood coming down his head. He didn't have any hair, so I can pick on him because he's already went. But first of all, I just want to thank you guys for having me. I want to thank Coach Blackston, Coach Herron, and Coach Radford. Those guys have impacted me tremendously over the course of my life, and I appreciate that, guys, and I'll never forget that. One thing I do need to do is I probably need to take advice after Coach Herron and Coach Radford on how to dress, not so much Coach Blackston, though. So. I'll leave you alone. But you went first, so I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone. Can I get back up? I'll leave you alone. But thank you guys for having me. At Crescent, I'll tell you what, guys, we got 22 seniors, and they're showing up, and they're working their tail off. So we can't ask for much more. We play Blacksburg tonight at home. And we're looking for a dogfight, so if you ain't got anything to do, you guys come out and watch us, and I promise you those guys will play hard and they'll never give up. That's about it. Thank you.
Next on our list is Coach Jeff Herron from Hannah High School. I believe this is his 2nd year here. And of course he had a tremendous year last year. And of course he's got a lot of those boys back, but I'm gonna let him tell you about that, because I'm sure he's looking for a great year. He's starting his 28th year as a head coach, and most of those were in Georgia. And he was born in Kingsport, Tennessee, grew up in Gate City, Virginia. He graduated from Emory and Henry College, and he's been married to Inca for 34 years. They have 4 children and 2 grandchildren. Coach?
I guess I won't use the microphone either. I probably need it though. Am blessed and honored to be here again. Last year this time I was scared to death for different reasons. I'm still scared to death about tonight, but different reasons last year, I guess. And I did want to take this opportunity. Bill hit on our facilities and how good they are, and I know Scott and I just appreciate to death how nice we have it. Mr. Wilson, we appreciate it. You guys have done a great job, and our principal, Sean Tobin, I don't think he's here. His daughter's getting married this weekend, and then Coach Can, our AD. I have a great job. It is a great place to work. It's a great school to work at, great support, and really good players. So my thing is, my charge is don't mess it up. So I did want to comment. George made the suggestion that maybe Coach Frazier's jokes would be better today because he'd had since February to work on them. But I was thinking it was probably because we've all had since February to forget all of them. They seem new today. I don't know. Don't worry about Hannah. We're in good hands this week because Coach came out Wednesday and stayed the whole practice there. So I think he's got them whipped into shape, and we do appreciate him. And honestly, all kidding aside, it always does my heart and the rest of the guys good to see him out there at practice. And I believe he can still coach. I really do. So we play Emerald tonight. Bill, we don't have everybody back. I hate to say that, but in fact, the ones we do have back, we got about 5 of them hurt right now, so I'm scared to death for tonight. We go to Emerald, but we do have a really good group of kids. And one thing that I will say, our quarterback, who has been a starter for going on to the 4th year now, is one of the best young men I've ever been around, one of the best players I've ever been around. He's committed to West Point. We have a defensive lineman. I probably shouldn't say this in here, seeing all the orange and purple, but we have a defensive lineman that literally is the best player I've ever been around. He is committed to South Carolina, unfortunately for some of you, but and we have another defensive lineman that's a great player that has offers from West Point, the Naval Academy, Air Force. So when you got kids like that, again, my job is just not to mess it up, and I'm going to do my best to try to do that. And Sheldon, I appreciate your comments there. You know, they said so many good things about you. I'm kind of sorry we fired you now. But all kidding aside, Sheldon did a great job last year. You know, I inherited him, didn't know him. He did a great job coaching our defense, and I'm so happy and proud for him. He got his first win last week as a head coach. I called him. I told him it took me 3 weeks before I could win one, so he's way ahead of the game right there. But good luck tonight. And the rest of you guys, I really appreciate the fellowship and the friendship and the camaraderie. It really is a unique county to have coaches that get along. I've been in places that wasn't the case, but everybody here works real well together. And again, I think some of that's because of this, because we get to come here and hang out with each other in a little different environment. So we're on the road tonight. If you want to come to Emerald, which you probably don't, you know, you can come on down. But next week, we have a special treat at our place. We are playing a team from Canada, of all places, called Royal Imperial Collegiate Prep. And we have no idea what we're getting into. They were decent last year, and I was talking to a guy that had played them. He said, well, the problem is they'll have all new players next year, because those guys go to college and then they bring in another group, and literally they go there to try to get a college scholarship. And we got a copy of their roster, and they didn't, you know, where some people list height and weight, grade, that sort of thing. Theirs just had names and countries. And I'm not making that up. They literally have 4 guys from Brazil, 1 from California, 1 from Serbia, several, of course, from Canada. So I bet with those Brazilians they'll have a really good kicking game, so we'll see. But that's our first home game next week, and maybe you get a chance to come see that. We're going to try to play the national anthem and the Canadian national anthem there for them. So again, thank you for having me, and appreciate the opportunity to be here, and appreciate y'all doing what you do. Thank you.
Coach Doug Shaw from Palmetto High School. Coach Shaw's in his 6th year at Palmetto, and he graduated from Newberry College. That's the reason he's so smart. I graduated from Newberry. Everybody knows that by now, I'm sure. But anyway, we're really happy to have you here today. He previously coached at Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach High Schools. He was a head coach at Carolina and Malden before he came here. He's married to Stacy. They have a son, Luke, who is playing for him at Palmetto. He's an outside linebacker, Palmetto High School. I think it's tremendous.
Thank you. No, I'm good with this. All right, thank you guys. Just to tell you a little bit about what's going on at Palmetto, and you're talking about Sheldon getting his first win. It took me 3 years to get my first win at Carolina High School, so congratulations to you. So, but again, I'm glad to be here, thankful for all that you guys do, and thankful for these coaches. There's a great group of guys right here that I'm able to work with and play almost every one of them. Played Scott in the Jamboree, played Coach Herron last year, and then play the rest of them. So it's great. It's a fantastic area of the state, and you guys do a great job. As far as Palmetto goes, we have 9 returning starters on offense and 2 returning starters on defense. So if that kind of tells you, we're just hoping maybe we just outscore people. But really in the preseason, our quarterback is a phenomenal football player. We have 8 solid receivers, and the only 2 we lost was a running back and a right offensive tackle. And unfortunately, our left offensive tackle is having knee surgery today, so we've lost him for the year. But you know, we'll replace him. But good group of guys back on offense. We haven't changed what we do. And defensively, 2 guys, two returning starters, and you got 9 guys over there that maybe have a little bit of experience, and some of them are coming up from the JV and are getting thrown to the wolves. But we've had a good preseason. Played Clinton last week, played West Side in the Jamboree, and scrimmaged Christ Church earlier in the year. So, you know, we're going to Woodmont tonight, and you know, I'll tell you right now, I'm a huge Clemson fan, and I hate when Clemson plays Georgia Tech, just because. And that's what Woodmont does. They're a ball control team. They're going to try to run some triple option, and we got to figure out a way to get it back. So they will shorten the game for us, definitely. And but hopefully we do have some experience with our offense, and hopefully we'll be able to put some points on the board. So again, thank you guys for all that you do. Good luck to all you coaches this year, and thanks again.
We have another new coach into the area, Pendleton High School coach Ron Radford. Ron Radford, he is his first year there. He's an Anderson native, and he graduated from T.L. Hanna. He graduated from Clemson with a BA degree in history, a master's in sports administration from the United States Sports Academy, and a master's in education and leadership from Anderson University. Has 25 years of coaching experience. He was a head baseball coach at Crescent Hanna, head golf coach at Hanna, assistant football coach at Crescent, Hanna, and Seneca. He's the defensive coordinator at Seneca and athletic director at Seneca in 2015-2018. He's certainly glad to have you here today, Coach.
I don't need it. I'm good. Oh, that's my daddy.
Cecil?
Yep.
He played a long time.
Yep.
Your daddy.
Sure will. Yeah.
I had to ask him this. Cecil Radford played with me in high school, and that's his son. I can't believe this.
Yeah.
Boy, he started late, didn't he?
Yeah, that was an accident. I want to thank everybody for being here. I've been away from Anderson for 10 years, and I just want to say how great this whole thing is, because I've been somewhere for 10 years where they didn't do anything like this. I think it's a great thing that you do for the Anderson community, coming out and supporting the kids. It's something that I've missed tremendously. It's good to see a lot of people that I know. I want to recognize somebody that's in this room, Wayne Jones. Wayne Jones, guys, I know y'all know him, but he's probably he has as much to do with me being here as anybody. Two people that influenced me in my life were my dad and Wayne Jones. So I just want to tell you thank you. All right. Second thing I'll say is there's a long-standing joke between Coach Blackston and I, and it all originated with the Touchdown Club about 20 years ago. All right, and Sheldon was the offensive player of the week that week, and Coach Burke didn't want to go. He had too much stuff to go on, so he sent Coach Blackston and I. Coach Frazier up here doing his thing, telling his jokes. When it's time to recognize everybody, he goes, hey, I just want to brag on two Anderson natives we got here representing the kids. We got Russell Blackston and John Roberts. Russell looked at me and said, Jan, did you not play for Coach Frazier? I said, yeah. I said, for 1 year. He said, well, what the crap's he doing calling you John Robertson? So now, guys, for 22 years, okay, my name in Coach Blackston's phone is not Jan Radford. It is John Roberts. And when I call him, and we talk all the time, every time I call, he never answers with hello. He never answers with how you doing. It's always John Roberts. How you doing today, buddy? How you doing? Coach Frazier, thanks for that. We get a good laugh out of that every time we talk.
You see why they ran me off.
I'm excited. I've been blessed. God's blessed me, guys. He's given me an opportunity I never thought I'd get. All the praise goes to him for giving me the opportunity. My principal and my superintendent have been great to me. Thanks to some of the stuff that's been going on at other schools, that's kind of had a trickle-down effect in some of the other ones. We just gone through about a $700,000 renovation in our weight room in our facility, totally renovating our field house. So thanks, guys. And I'll tell you, when Coach Blackston's pictures were released on Twitter and we saw them, that helped us a whole bunch. So thanks, Russell. I appreciate that. Getting a couple other things. So we're excited about that. I'm excited about, I've got 18 seniors who've done nothing but show up every day and go to work. We've had a great summer. I think out of that 18 seniors, 16 of them were there every time we opened the doors. The transition has been great. Been very, very pleased with the effort of our kids. The community's been great welcoming me up there. I just don't know, if I had in my head to draw it up how it was going to go, I don't know that it could have gone any better, basically. Really proud of our kids. We won't be running the wing tee anymore. We'll go to more of a spread pace type on offense and more of a 3-4 on defense. Whole new schemes, whole new everything. You know, and I just can't say enough about our coaching staff and the kids and how well they've worked this summer. We open tonight with Pickens, which is going to be a huge challenge. They are a wing T team. They're not doing the same exact wing T they did last year. They're running a whole lot more jet sweep, fullback power kind of stuff, which will be a huge challenge for us because they're probably going to be a little bit bigger than us across the board. They've got a really good running back that we got to stop, and they get after it on defense now. So we got a big challenge. We're looking forward to it. I'm excited about seeing our kids go out and play. You know, I told them yesterday, I know they're excited. I said, you just don't understand how it is for me. You know, just looking for that. I'm so ready for it to get here. You know, I turned my phone off today. The AD stuff is over with, basically, and I told them, don't bother me today. You know, I'm out of the office for the rest of the day. I've had to deal with a PA down, 2 scoreboards down, so that AD thing ain't no joke sometimes, folks. But once again, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Hope we see you some more.
Our next coach is Paddleville High School coach, Coach Robert Murstar. And Coach Murstar was our 2017 award winner last year for Coach of the Year. You know, he's the only football coach they've ever had at Wren. I mean at Paddlesville, excuse me. I was going to say that he played for Coach Tate over there, and that's a very unusual thing. They have good friends today, and they, of course, have a great game every year. He's married to Jennifer, been married for 18 years, and have a daughter, Avery. I always say this, Coach, you can tell he's a Citadel graduate. Can you tell that? Look at his expressions when he starts talking.
Expressions, haircut, can't hide it. Real quick, I want to say thank you everybody for coming out here. I mean, it's nice, and it's kind of a tradition for me, since I have been only a coach at Pattersville, that every year I've been a head coach, I come here and I get to see your faces and see a lot of the same faces over and again. So that kind of means it's game time is coming up. We've got a lot to look forward to at Pattersville. One thing I want to emphasize is we're young. We are young, but that is no excuse. If we didn't make excuses in the first year of our football program when we didn't have a single senior, we only had 7 juniors. We're basically playing a varsity schedule with JV guys, and we're not going to make up excuse now. We owe it to our seniors, and we only have 12 of them this year. But we owe it to those guys to put forth their best effort, put the best product we can out there on the field. And if we tell them this is a rebuilding year, I feel like it's a slap in the face to that class that's been there and they've worked so hard. We've got some talent, and they're young. And I feel like our sophomore class is really loaded. We could have one heck of a JV team, but out of necessity and numbers, we got to bump those guys up. We've got 3 guys who are returning starters on the offensive side of the ball. We've got 5 on defense, and then we got our kicker coming back. But once again, we're excited about what we would like and what we expect to be putting out in the field. We open up with BHP tonight. We know that's going to be a tough test right there. It's going to be a huge test. They're fast, they're big, they're physical, and they'll smash you right in the mouth. And I'll be honest with you, that's what my kids need right now. Right out the gate, and I appreciate you. You don't understand how much I appreciate this, putting us on the schedule week 1, because I think that kind of tells us, all right, there we go. Now what's next? Then when you get in your region, you feel like, man, you've seen really good quality teams. Coach Herron was kind enough to let us play them in Jamboree. I'm glad we didn't have to pull out the body bags. But so much like Palmetto, we played Teal-Hanna in a Jamboree. We don't play Westside, but we play everybody else in the regular season. It's a great group of guys. I appreciate the camaraderie, the fellowship. I feel like if I ever need anything, I'm very humbled always that I can reach out to one of these guys and they're going to be there for you. But thank you again for everything you do and what you do for our kids, most of all. Thank you. Appreciate it.
So much. Our next speaker, coach from Westside High School, Coach Scott Early. He's been coaching for 23 years. He has an overall record of 139-58 in 16 years that he's been coaching. He led his teams to playoffs 3 times since he's been over at Westside, winning back-to-back region titles. He's married to Christy, and they have 5 children: Britt, Rice, Jessica, Mackenzie, and Kaylee. Coach?
You see my, you like it?
I like that.
Rocking the Herm Edwards? Not
Oh,
many people can pull it off.
I'm not
As old
wild,
as you can, if you can pull it off, though, that's nice.
I'm not wild about that color.
Well, you people that can't see back there, he's showing off his new shoes that he won last night. He won them, where'd you win those?
The lottery.
Okay.
It's amazing to me, this is my 5th year coming here and speaking to you, because usually I don't stay anywhere that long. But the reason I'm here is I'm happy here. Working in Anderson 5 is amazing. From our school board to just everybody's visionaries, student-based, I mean, it is literally utopia. I'm not talking loud enough?
Take that.
Somebody hold it here. If you're a part of the A5 team, stand up. Everybody that's with A5, John, you too, stand up. These people are incredible, and I applaud you and thank you for the environment we get to work here. I was out today, you know, looking around and putting stuff up, and I think back to 5 years ago when we came here and all the progress we've made. Just in all areas, not just facilities, but in all areas. Our culture's good, our chemistry's good, our academics are better. I love my school, love my kids, love my community, and we're gonna try to put the best product on the field that we can. And our goal this year is to become a better postseason team. You know, we've been coming out of the gate and winning some region titles, and then we fizzle out there at the end. So we're starting out, tonight with Bowling Springs and a little beat up, but that's just excuses. Everybody's got them, and then Greer, and then getting into the region. Hopefully, this is a team that can grow together and we can become healthy and be better in the postseason and teach Anderson what the postseason is really about. That's when the fun really starts, and that's what you play for. And the best time in football is to be able to play on Thanksgiving Friday, and that's one of our things we're going to try to focus on this year. And we enjoy coming here and honoring our kids and players. I enjoy everything except the jokes. But Coach Frazier and I are we're past presidents of the Coach Association, and obviously he has trouble driving, so I have to take him to Columbia every year. So every year we go down to Columbia and come back. So if you just these 2 jokes y'all hear a week, imagine driving 2.5 hours down and back and what I hear. But you need to use some of those that only me and you know about. They're better.
It takes you that long to understand.
Thank y'all for coming.
Coach Tate from Rand High School had to take I think they have a game in Georgia tonight. They're playing at Mercer. I believe they're playing at Mercer, and he's got standing in for him his old coach, Coach Jack King. Come on up, Coach.
Come on, get right inside me. Put this right here. Just put it on. Everybody hear me okay? I'll try to stand over this way. Coach Tate wanted me to let you know how much he appreciates this program and how he missed being here today. They're on their way to Mercer University. They're going to play Camden County, which I think, Jeff's one of your old places, and they're going to play them tonight. I watched a little bit of film with him this week, and he's got his hands full tonight. But anyway, he said that the one thing that he knows that he missed at least one good joke by Coach Frazier today. So you'll have to make it up to him. But he certainly appreciates the club. He wanted me to tell you, you've got 22 seniors coming back, multiple starters on both sides of the ball returning, and one of his main players is his quarterback, Terrell Jackson, who is a tall, lanky kid who could throw the ball and can run also. Terrell's daddy played for me back in the 90s, and he was a good athlete then. And he has
Terrell's also a captain. One of his other captains is a receiver named Luke Bryant, and he's a senior captain. And on defense, he has Carter Vest, who's a 4-year starter. He's a captain. And a defensive lineman named Liam Quinn, and he'll serve as a captain as well. Challenging schedule, but I think they feel real positive about it, that he thinks that he's got a decent team this year, a good team that will compete in every game and has a chance to win in every game. He did say the other day that he had one of his good players get hurt, so he was trying to find out whether he was going to be out for a while. Hopefully he'll stay well. When I watched them the other night, they looked like they were better, much better on defense this year than they've been, and they're always pretty good on offense. So he looks forward to the season, and wanted to know how much he appreciates this club. Robert Muster is one of my former players. When they play each other, I have to root for the blue and gold, Robert, but I always pull for you on the other games, and he's done a great job up there at Powdersville. I'm really proud of him, and has done well. I've had some former players of mine who've done well. I was on the deacon board at our church one year, well, several years, but I looked around and 4 of my former players were on the deacons with me. And I said, well, I didn't mess them up too bad, did I? So they were on there, and I was real proud of them. I'll just leave you this. George said I couldn't stay up here too long. I told him I had that 25-minute sermon. He wouldn't let me do it. But anyway, I want to just leave you this. Do you know what the plural for y'all is? Y'all. Y'all. Y'all, we all say y'all. It's all y'all. All y'all have a good year.
Thank you, coaches. That was real good. I want to emphasize again our sponsors. A couple of them have been mentioned, but Anderson Credit Union does a tremendous job with the Pick'em contest, and Dillard Sports has been doing this for years. They do the jerseys, and Dillard Trophy Shop does the trophies every week. They donate that each week. Granger Nissan buys the meals for all the players and the coaches throughout the season, which is a great thing to do. And Morningside Assisted Living sponsors the ball that's given out after the one that you can take home with you, whoever wins it. And then Oxford Farms, Cobb Oxford and Sullivan Metropolitan Grill, Bill and Savior Nicholas has always, they started this year that $100 gift certificate. Now, buddy, that's going to be good. Y'all work hard to win that thing, to get Coach of the Week. And I don't want anybody calling Coach Frazier and trying to sway him, so you'll get that $100. That's a tremendous thing, and we really appreciate all these sponsors that are doing all that. The Independent Mail, Lake Marsh, for what he does in the newspaper. And we've got another vista here, the Anderson. Yeah. Anyway, he's filming this, and whether can they see this?
I'll have it up and send you a link, and you can send it out.
Okay.
It'll be on YouTube today.
But that's great. It's great to have you here today. It's so good to have all of you. George?
All right. Thank you, Bill. Congratulations, all you guys. Y'all all got through talking before 1 o'clock. That's really good. And everybody pull your tickets out here. We're going to see who wins this little ball. And want to thank Mama Pins for providing the food for us again. And they want to emphasize, be sure to put your tickets in the basket here, because that's how they get paid, by the number of tickets in that basket. And also, if you're going to win one of these prizes, you got to have the ticket in there. So pull your numbers out. The last 4 numbers. 5609. 5609.
Glenn.
Got a winner right over there, Glenn Bud. Congratulations, Glenn. All right, appreciate everybody being here. Next week, we'll have our speaker will be Ben Bullware, so be sure to be here for that.